Savelle is huge on saying that there are 5 things that successful people do on a daily basis. And one of the things that successful people do on a daily basis, according to Terry, is that successful people read. And if reading is one common denominator among all successful people, then I should think that every parent should ensure that they teach their children how to have a reading culture. Hi, I'm Gozie Okure. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this channel, we discuss books and how to leverage reading for success in life. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you can give me a thumbs up, that would be amazing. In today's video, we'll be discussing 5 tips on raising bookworms. 5 tips on how to raise bookworms. Now, somebody might want to ask me, who is a bookworm? A bookworm is someone who loves books and who spends considerable amount of time reading books on a daily basis. Now, because each time you open a book, you learn something new, and books are idea banks, that means that bookworms are usually people who have access to a lot of fantastic ideas. Because of it, bookworms usually end up at wealthy zones of life. Now, that being so, it behoves on every parent to ensure that their children are given the opportunity to have a reading culture in life. What are the practical things that can be done? What are the steps that is necessary for children to become bookworms? In this video, we want to discuss 5 important tips for raising bookworms. And the very first tip is that you should model reading for your child. Yes, if reading is so important and you want to teach your children how to read, the first thing to do is to model reading for them. Yeah, because we know that children usually mimic their parents. Children usually reflect or copy what their parents do. In one of my videos recently, I asked a question. I said, what is the common denominator between human babies and chameleons? And I said the answer is that both of them absorb the color of the environment. Human babies pick up what is in their environment. So if a child is born in a home where the mother reads, where the mother discusses what she reads in books, where the mother's daily routine, book reading is part of the mother's daily routine, it's so easy for that child to grow up loving books and to grow up reading books. So if you want to make your child a bookworm, model reading for this child. Now, before you tell me that you're not a reading type, I want to remind you of J.K. Rowling's quote that says that a person who doesn't like to read simply has not found the right books. So there is a book somewhere that you would love to read. So find it and begin to celebrate reading in the presence of your children. Let them see you read. Everybody is a reader. What happens is that some people have not unleashed the reader within them. I told a story of a woman who saw me somewhere a couple of years ago and told me that for years her husband wanted to make her read books, but she was not interested until she saw my books. She said as soon as she saw my book, she began to read. Why? Because she saw a book that resonates with her. That's how it is with you also. Inside the bookshop near your house, there are books that you would love to read. Get them and begin to read, because it's so important that your child becomes a bookworm. The next thing you need to do if you want to raise bookworms is to create a comfortable reading environment. Make the environment of the home where the children will read comfortable. It could be a corner of a room where you will put pillows and make the place comfortable, put enough lighting. It could be natural light, but let the light there be beautiful for reading. And then you could have a bookshelf with diverse selection of books. Okay, so let it be a comfortable place in the home where children will always love to read. The third thing you need to do if you want to raise bookworms is to make reading fun and interactive. Yes, get the child involved in the reading process. What can he do? Identify the colors, name the various animals, or what can he look forward to predicting what will happen in the next chapter of the story. Get the child involved. Children are usually very excited. Okay, so let there be an association. This is very important. Let there be an association between reading and fun. Okay, make reading fun for that child so that the child will always associate reading with enjoyment. This is huge. If you're able to establish this association where your child sees reading as enjoyment, okay, you know that it will take him far. It will be easy for that child to become a bookworm, because we always run towards whatever we perceive as fun, whatever we perceive as enjoyment, and we run away from whatever we perceive to be painful. I talked about a young man I spoke with recently who said that growing up, he associated reading with pain. He associated reading with work. In your own case, ensure that there is a beautiful association with reading. The next point you need to pay attention to if you want to raise bookworms is to provide your child with diverse selection of books. Let there be variety. Variety, they say, is the spice of life. Let that child be able to have access to fiction, non-fiction, poetry, and even novels. In so doing, the child will be able to discover where his interest lies. The fact that you love romantic novels doesn't mean that you bombard your child with romance. Or maybe you love poetry, therefore every book you buy for the child is poetry. No, let there be varieties for the child. The last point in this discussion is to ensure that you create a daily reading routine. Remember, we are talking about habits here. So when it comes to habit, consistency is the name of the game. Consistency is so important. Ensure that there is a time set aside for reading on a daily basis. Could be after dinner or before bedtime or during the quiet time in the afternoon. Just ensure that there is a time stipulated for reading. Establishing a regular reading routine will make it a lot easier for this child to pick up reading as a habit. And once reading becomes habitual, then you can be sure that this child is going to end up at the wealthy zones of life. That child will become a bookworm and will be able to excel in life, because a child who can read will be able to learn anything and be able to, acquire any skill that he wants in life. That's why President Barack Obama says that reading is so important. He says if you learn to read, the whole world opens up to you. So I want to encourage you to give your children a reading culture so that the whole world will open up onto them. Thank you so much. I believe you've got value from this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. And if you can share the link with loved ones, that would be amazing. Until I come your way next time, remain richly blessed.